the show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And here are the goods. But wait, first, I just want to say thank you to Mr. Art Cherries for filling in for me last time. You did a great job. Please don't ever do that Jeff Goldblum impression again. It was like Rain Man on like crack.
He was so into it. He was like, he set us up for it and everything, and it was like, oh, it just felt so flat.
And the top 5, yeah, Holy Man, yeah.
He thought about that too.
Holy Man.
Holy
Man. I would have put Great White Hype before Holy Man.
Chance Spano 65,000 or 65,000.
Yeah.
And Great White Hype totally blanked on.
Check out my comments on the bottom. You'll have my top 5. It's beautiful now. All right, so box office. No surprise here. First, you had the first week there, second week, third week, all number ones. Fate of the Furious is blowing it up, and then guess what? Throw a banana peel. Guardians of the Galaxy beat the crap out of everybody, as expected.
Yeah.
145 million in its debut week.
Sequel always does better than the first one.
Yeah, and the characters are established. It was surprising to me because the last one came out in August.
Right.
And this one coming out on May, which is usually the Marvel time because that, Avengers, Civil War, Captain America, all these movies always come out like May 5th, May 3rd, around there.
Right.
So to release it on that day, it did not disappoint. 145 million. I got this. 19% behind Civil War.
Right.
For opening, 24% behind Ultron, 16% behind Iron Man 3,
okay,
30% behind Avengers, which is
are we saying it underperformed?
In a way, it did, but like to me, I would think that it did because I was not very busy.
Okay.
At the theater that I work at, it was not very busy to me. So it did in a lot of ways underperform, but at the same time, these characters are still learning them. It's the second one.
And what you said, it was like you quoted Iron Man 3 and you quoted Civil War. Those were all thirds in their series. And,
exactly.
And basically final movies to those particular characters. So those would do more as long as that the other two before it didn't suck. And the only one that was actually a sequel that you mentioned was Ultron.
Yeah.
And an Avenger movie, those always blow out the water. So I mean, I can see why it wouldn't be. And then Guardians, it's still niche to me. It's like people love it because it's not something that they're used to, but how many people are really Guardians fans?
Well, when you really think about it, Avengers is going to be high up because it's pretty much it's tying in Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, right, and all these single movies that were out there, right? Standalones, right? So that's why it was so high, right?
And then Guardians tied in nothing.
And then Iron Man 3 was pretty much like the aftermath of Avengers. So that the hype was even more so for there, right? And then you go into the Civil War where you got you got Iron Man versus Cap. That by itself is going to be, something that they're going to be all over.
Right. It was, Marvel's BVS.
Right. So, but good, but done right.
But done right.
So anyway, so it's not, it's still a success because it's I believe it's the 11th I think it's the 11th consecutive $100 million debut for a Marvel movie. So it also pushed Disney
to 11 billion.
Well, yeah, but it also closer to Universal because Universal has been tearing it up with Get Out, with Fate of the Furious, with
just
50
as far
Shades.
As over the year.
Yeah. So it actually I think they were up by over 150 million or something like that.
Oh, that's just one weekend.
No. But I'm talking about like as far as collectively they've been up like so much on Disney, right? And just with this movie by itself, it's already brought them up to 90 million under Universal. So they're catching up pretty good.
Universal had their biggest movie out. What else is coming out for them this year? Fate of the Furious was their biggest movie.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, Despicable Me 3. I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that's gonna
make some money, exactly. And then next year we have Lost World. So either way, worldwide, $441 million for Guardians worldwide. I thought it was great. We will actually have a spoiler review coming out pretty soon, so be on the lookout for that. We were actually gonna tie it now, but we're gonna wait. Too much to debate, so it'll be out there. Like I said, after 3 weeks of number 1, Fast 8 was dropped to number 2. It only had 8.5 million, but it's already crossed the 1 billion mark. So
they're done. It was like everything else is gravy here.
Another Fast and Furious, tops $1 billion. That's back to back. 7 and 8 go 1 billion. That's pretty good.
And they weren't the best ones.
No, they weren't the best ones. But you really look at it, Fast 8, and a lot of their marketing and stuff is built towards China. So that kind of helped that international.
Really?
Well, you look at the credits and all these. You have a lot of like Chinese.
The work is cheap, sir. The work is cheap.
Okay, well, anyway, Boss Baby was number 3 at 6
Keep
mil.
our Fast and Furious jobs in the United States.
Our jobs are going to China. All right, Boss Baby, 6,436,000 worldwide, still hanging in there. How to Be a Latin Lover, 5 million, 20 million so far. For a movie that was budgeted for like 50 cents, and a churro, and some raspas.
Outside of Selma Hayek, who's in this movie?
Bravo. Who's in this movie? But you know what? Eugenio Derbez, I think his name is doing a fantastic job. He's an up-and-comer. Check out his stuff. It's actually pretty funny. And then rounding out the top 5 is Beauty and the Beast with $5 million, $1.2 billion worldwide.
It wasn't in the top 5 last week. It made it back.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not.
It made it back. I forgot. Some that Bahali thing knocked it. It knocked it out.
We Go Disco.
It was number 2, and it knocked Beast out. And obviously, nobody else wanted to see that movie in the second week because it's not in the top 5. It was number 2 last week. It's not in the top 5.
It was Zohan.
Oh.
Don't mess with the Zohan. All right, just kidding. Next week we have King Arthur coming up.
I'm not that excited about it, but I will watch it.
And The Wall with John Cena and Aaron Taylor Johnson.
It's probably not gonna be good.
So, Marine Down.
Marine Down. Marine Down. That's
So
we'll see. We're gonna hashtag that Marine Down.
So we'll see how this week it plays out. I think Guardians is gonna repeat again. I don't see either of these two movies to do anything. So we'll have to wait and see.
Not till we get to Alien Covenant.
Yeah, and the reviews are out on that, and it's mixed.
Oh God, really? That's not good.
One of them is like it's a great movie for Aliens fans. Next one is Ridley Scott. I thought you were gonna give me something new. You give me the same crap.
Well, because he gave him what everybody wanted. Everybody was not happy what he gave him in Prometheus, so he was like, okay, everybody wants Aliens, so I'm gonna remake Aliens, and that's what he did.
Yeah, basically that's what he did. And
I haven't even seen it. I know he remade Aliens.
The sequel,
the trailers.
the sequel will be coming out. Is already actually being written. For this one. Now, it was supposed to be Alien Awakening, but supposedly it's going to be something else now, so I'm not too sure exactly what that's.
And it's not by Blown Concept.
And it is not by Blown Concept.
See, the sequel's being written, but it ain't by him.
Yeah. And I was watching your stuff last time, and it was Hicks. It's Corporal Hicks.
Yeah, I know. I didn't correct.
How could you forget Hicks?
Hey, blame Art. He said, what did he say? He said
Bishop.
Bishop. He said
That's
Bishop.
freaking Lance Henriksen.
Exactly. When he said
android.
After the show, I thought about it. I was like, oh crap, it wasn't Bishop. So I corrected it in a video, and I was like, it really popped in my head after the show. So I'm sorry. That's my rating.
So with Guardians opening up, and his previous movie, his first 2 movies of Guardians, and then Jurassic World. Chris Pratt is doing really, really well right now. So the question came to me from a viewer, Mr. Robert Pallas out there, about whether or not Chris Pratt is a superstar.
Okay.
So I thought of a little segment here.
Okay.
Superstar, movie star, or nothing, or up and comer, I guess. You want to talk like that? So today is going to be Chris Pratt. Okay. Now you look at Chris Pratt doing Parks and Rec and transitioning from TV to movies, right?
Okay.
Now in a way, he didn't have the warm-up movie like Will Smith had as far as Bad Boys. I don't think he had anything. I don't think he had the Will Smith warm-up movie. I think he went straight.
So our examples for that would be Will Smith, would be Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt.
Tom Cruise, he was in a TV show.
No. What I'm saying is that it doesn't matter what they're in.
You mean?
No. It doesn't matter what they're in. Would you still go see the movie no matter what it is?
Right.
All right. So that's my superstar thing. Mm-hmm. And how would you describe?
Well, the debate is for me is that exactly the same thing. Mm-hmm. You know, really, it's one name.
Okay.
Denzel. I'm there because it's Denzel. You don't even have to put Washington in there. It's just Denzel, right? With Pratt, it's almost like he jumped right in to Guardians. Now, like you always talk about it, like if you say you're a Guardians of the Galaxy fan, you're lying. You ain't never met Martin Luther King. So that was a property that not a lot of people were familiar with, right?
You know?
So he goes into this movie and it's his personality.
Yeah.
It's the 80s vibe and a hell of a job by Bradley Cooper that makes it, the whole ensemble, that makes it work.
Right.
And it's like one of the best of 2014, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Okay.
Then you jump into Jurassic World. Mm-hmm. That's an established brand, so you already knew that the topic and
I would have really wanted to see Jurassic World without Chris Pratt.
Okay, so you're saying that Pratt had more of a selling point?
Pratt drew me to that movie.
But not the established brand that Jurassic Park
look, Jurassic Park 3 burned me out on that franchise.
Okay. Was the Alan?
Yeah, Alan.
Horrible.
And Art didn't believe that was a thing. And I was like, no, for real, it's a really thing. He talked to Dan Velociraptor.
Dumbass.
But yeah, it's like I was burned by Jurassic Park 3. I didn't really want to see Jurassic Park anymore. So it's Jurassic Park World, and they were just kind of disregard those movies. They're gonna Rocky 5 it, or a Tokyo Drift it, and and I was like, and then we get the announcement that Chris Pratt's gonna be in it, and then he is the main star of the movie, and I was like, I'll go see Chris Pratt. Okay, here's a perfect example. I wouldn't have seen Passengers without Chris Pratt. Jennifer Lawrence aside, I would not have cared if Chris Pratt wasn't in that movie.
And then that's actually part of the argument that me and
Chris Evans. I saw Sunshine because of Chris Evans.
He was in Sunshine? I didn't know that. But anyway,
I saw that Alien movie because of Ryan Reynolds.
Life? Oh, you mean Venom?
I saw Venom because of Ryan Reynolds. There are a bunch of people that are out there, and before you argue with me in the comment section, Ryan Reynolds probably isn't to that superstar status. I mean, there are certain things that he does really well, and then certain things he picks movies sometimes people don't give a crap about. But
I don't know. Safe House was good.
Safe House was really good. But did you see that one where he was a serial killer?
Did I say that right?
Safe House.
That was the name of it, right?
Yeah, it was Safe House. Yeah.
Why do I confuse it with the freaking
Silent House?
Silent House. Yeah, I did that the last time and I screwed it up.
But no, it's like, but other movies that he does, like he tries to pick these kind of like off the wall stuff, and he tries to get away from the stuff like the carbon copy movie. He tries to do something different, and nobody really goes out and sees him in those movies when he's the headliner of those movies. I mean, how many people really saw Buried?
Not a lot, but he got a lot of praise for it, and I think going the indie route sometimes actually helps. So if you see with the craft,
but if the same movie had come out
for later,
if Safe House had come out with Chris Pratt, would you have seen it?
Didn't it have Denzel too?
Sorry. Well, Denzel was in it.
That's why we saw Magnificent Seven.
Very true. But if you give him what's another movie that bombed with Ryan Reynolds was the Ghost one when they were
Amityville? Amityville did all right.
No, I'm not saying Amityville. I'm talking about the one with him and Jeff Bridges.
He was in a movie with Jeff Bridges. Oh, R.I.P.D.
R.I.P.D.
That was awful. That was
exactly. If Chris Pratt had been in it, would you want to go see it?
I didn't see it with Ryan Reynolds.
I saw it with Ryan Reynolds. Okay, but that's the thing. It's like that person automatically ups the movie. Independence Day Resurgence. I would have loved that movie, and Will Smith had been in that movie. That's what I'm talking about for superstar status. And I think Chris Pratt, give him another franchise outside of Jurassic World, I think he's at that status. I think he will jump to that status.
But that's the point. See, when I go superstar, I'm thinking Denzel, I'm thinking Tom Cruise, I'm thinking Tom Hanks. These guys
does he need an Oscar? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm thinking Tom Cruise don't have an Oscar.
Oh, sorry.
I'm thinking
does he need 17 franchises?
but I am thinking that he needs to have an original. Which this is the debate because Guardians is very original. It's an original. It's not a. It's
because nobody else read the comic.
It's a comic property. It's a Marvel property, but it's never been.
It's never been done, or it's not a remake. It's
never been a TV show. Never been a nothing. There was an original thing. He took it, ran with it, and made it work. Okay. So that's why I hold him to there. But I think that he needs to have another one
before you'll claim he's a superstar.
Yes, because I think he is a movie star. Flat out. I don't care. I really do think he is a movie star for the fact that he turned Guardians, an unknown property, into a friggin' phenomenon, and to the point where he's right here. He's freaking volume 2 already, and then they're getting into Infinity War and so forth, right? Mm-hmm. So I think he is, but when you count Passengers, and granted you saw it because of him, a lot of people really didn't. one, the story was really complicated. Some of it really didn't.
No, I don't think it was that complicated.
But I'm talking about as far as, you know, you kind of seen it before. It's almost like The Shining in space. So, you know, maybe Event Horizon and The Shining in space.
I would get more Event Horizon
Put
than
all
The
those
Shining.
together.
Shining's a bit much.
Well, because, you know, freaking, wasn't...
I mean, he wasn't murdering the people.
But I'm talking about just the freaking it being like completely, you know, isolated, I meant. But anyway, all right. I mean, throw a little aliens in there.
The Shining was about being lonely.
They were
waking up all the dead people and say, hey, come sit with me and come drink with the robot bartender. Then we call it The Shining, but it wasn't The Shining. This was, I'll give you Event Horizon.
All right, fine. Hey, they were in the Jedi heat dryers. Anyway, so, but it didn't do well. Now you go into Magnificent Seven. Awesome cast, you know, and he's part of that. You know, he was part of the selling point. His name was, you know, probably third billing next to Denzel. He might have even been second billing. Him, Denzel, and Ethan Hawke. He might have been second billing. Right. But either way, you know, he helped that movie too. Mm-hmm. So
one of the better parts of that movie.
So my question is, you know, and I'm really feeling that he is a movie star regardless. But at the same time, if you really think about it, he's doing much better in ensembles. He's doing much better in
something where he's by himself.
In a way, yes, because he was by himself with Jennifer Lawrence in Passengers.
But then Jennifer Lawrence is a big name too, so I get your point with that. Jennifer Lawrence is just as big as a name as Chris Pratt is right now, if not bigger, because she's had her own franchise in Hunger Games.
Right.
She's basically took over the X-Men franchise from I mean, she really kind of, or at least they put the focus on her. Let's just say that. They put the focus on her in the last few movies. And so she technically is bigger than Chris Pratt. So if anything, people came to the movie, who actually saw the movie, came for Jennifer Lawrence more than they came for Chris Pratt. So I kind of get your point in that. So he needs his own franchise, what you're saying.
In a way, yes. Now, yeah, Guardians is it, but it's still four.
Bradley Cooper's in there.
Yeah, Vin Diesel's in there, Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, everybody's in there.
So but he's part of the ensemble. Then you go into Magnificent Seven, another ensemble. Does great. Does fairly decent business in September of last year, whatever it was. And then you got Passengers, which was his actual time to, this is it, man. Let's see what you got. Mm-hmm. I think Passengers got a bum deal, even though I didn't care for it too much. But regardless, I think it got a bum deal box office wise because it went against Rogue One.
It came out wrong.
You know,
it was trying to. It's like, okay, all the people, all the men, and it was like, this is a movie that's a romance movie for women who don't want to see Rogue One. That's what they were trying to play. They're trying to make that money.
I'd have gone in January. You know, Rogue One would have slowed down. The holidays are over. You need something fresh.
Pick dead spots in pick dead spots in movie releases, and you'll do well. And I don't know why they want to do that.
So what is the verdict? Is he a movie star or a superstar?
Okay, I will agree with you. He needs a franchise by himself. So we're gonna just call him movie star, but he's definitely on the up.
He is on the up.
Once he gets one by himself. And if that one does well, yes.
All right. So one of the people that you just mentioned right now, which is a perfect segue, is Ryan Reynolds.
All right.
And of course, Ryan Reynolds right now is about to start shooting Deadpool 2. We talked about this recently. It's just been announced that they're actually going to be delayed a week. It's going to be delayed a week because of casting. And the way it looks is the castings are for the 3 new characters that they want for post-credit scenes that are going to lead to the X-Force.
Okay. So we're casting Domino, I guess.
We already got Domino as ZZ Beats.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so
we got Josh Brolin as
Cable. Mm-hmm. And so I guess are we talking about like Shatterstar and
Sunspot?
Sunspot. We already had Sunspot.
Well, Sunspot.
We already cast Sunspot.
Who absorbs light?
We had
Feral.
Okay, they have to do Feral for X-Force.
Cat-like mutant with superhuman senses and sharp claws. So Catwoman, I guess.
Yeah.
And then
it's actually their version of Beast is what Feral is.
Oh, really? Is that what it is? And then Shatterstar.
Okay. Oh, well, they are going to do Shatterstar.
Yeah, they are doing Shatterstar. Hollow Bones, eyes change. I don't understand what the hell the power is. I'm changing my eyes. It's like Meg. What are your powers? Oh, my nails grow.
He is not the comic book person.
I am not the. So can you explain to me what the hell that is? What is the power of it? Just because they're very light? What does that mean? Oh, you can kick your ass. You can kick my ass with.
It's too long to explain. It's too like move on. It's too long.
Anyway, all right. Well, there are no dates right now for X-Force. The only thing that we know about X-Force is obviously that Josh Brolin and Ryan Reynolds are going to headline the movie. 2, it's going to be in rated R. So
I have a question though about. Because I've been thinking about it. Are we gonna see, which Cyclops are we gonna see?
It's more than likely going to be the ones from the alternate timeline. I don't think it's going to be Marsden. Because he's dead.
I mean, because
Marsden's dead.
Yeah, I mean, well, is he?
Yeah, he's dead. He was remember on Logan when
no, they changed the timeline. He's alive.
No, in Logan when Xavier.
But that's future.
Episode.
But that's future. That's old Xavier.
So you're talking about this is
Deadpool is not future. Deadpool is present.
Right.
So I was like, are we gonna get Marsden back, or are we gonna get the recast? Are we gonna age him up by letting his hair grow out longer like they did in Apocalypse?
Well, you do have Sophie Turner that's coming back for the Dark Phoenix, which is technically X-Men 7, and then you have
because they have to reference Cyclops if they're doing Cable, it has to reference Cyclops. They have to. They can't ignore it.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, he does. Cable does travel through time, so
or maybe he's just gonna mention this again. My dad, Scott.
Cyclops is Cable's father.
Yeah,
I knew that.
He is not the comic book guy on this show.
Right, anyway.
And the clone of Jean Grey is his mom.
Oh, okay. That's... Whose mom? Cable's mom?
Yes.
Chapel's mom?
Yeah, because Jean Grey...
Chapel, Cable.
Because Jean Grey died, and there was a clone, and Scott got it on with the clone, and that's how Cable came.
Oh, that's awful.
And that's the birds and the bees in comic books, guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Bang your mom. All right. Filming will continue, and it'll be actually from June 26th to October 6th for a June 2018 release date for Deadpool 2. So keep an eye on that. All right. So one of the things that we were talking about not too long ago are cinematic universes. We also have a top 5 shared universes that that we'd like to see. You said Transformers and Fast and Furious. That would be cool.
That would be cool because they get to drive the cars.
I say Gone in 60 Seconds.
And then we get to see the space thing because then they can fly spaceships and stuff like that.
Well, majority of these cinematic universes started with the Marvels in 2008 with Iron Man, and it blown up, right? Then you got your DC expanded universe, and then recently you have your MonsterVerse with King Kong, Godzilla, and all that good stuff, right?
I'm actually really excited about that.
Yeah, I know, me too. So the next one to jump into the bunch, besides the Hasbro, because that has not happened yet, but it's coming, is the Universal Monsters.
Right.
These are pretty much the OGs. These are the original monsters that actually scared the hell out of people in the 1950s and 60s and all that beautiful time back in the day, right?
Back before they started making werewolves all lovey-dovey and vampires were sparkling.
Exactly. Now, this actually starts this summer with The Mummy starring Tom Cruise, and it looks pretty freaking awesome, actually.
Actually, you know what? They're counting the Dracula Untold. That's actually counting towards the cinematic universe. They're counting that one.
The one with Luke Evans?
Yeah. They're counting. At first, they were thinking about separating it because that was supposed to be their initial start anyway. But because it didn't do well, they were going to separate it and say, like, we're just going to start over. But they thought about it and said, no, we're just going to continue with our original thought. That is the beginning of their Universal Monster.
I actually heard, I heard from different people that Luke Evans was actually pretty badass in that movie.
I liked the movie. It just didn't do well. People were complaining about, like, that it made Dracula look a little, it was too CGI. Well, not too CGI, but too, like, over the top with his powers, and it was like his whole story. It didn't make him a villain, it made him a hero as opposed to,
well, a lot of,
it gave a dark side to him but really still made him a hero.
Aren't there stories where, like,
the villain is always a hero in his own story? Yes. Yes, I know that saying.
Anyway, so Universal Monsters make their way back to the big screen for the second time now, since you said Dracula is the first, in The Mummy with Tom Cruise, right? So the rest of the lineup is besides The Mummy and Dracula is Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, can we get Kevin Bacon back?
That's Hollow Man.
The same crap.
Alrighty. and the Bride of Frankenstein.
See, that's why Dracula's not on the list, because it's already out.
Well, that's Johnny Depp is tapped to do the Invisible Man, actually. Give me Benicio del Toro back as a Wolfman, I'll take it.
I will take it too. Wow, add that back as part of the universe. I'll take that. I didn't hate the Wolfman. I just didn't like the final fight scene. Everything else about Wolfman? Whatever it was called. Everything else about that movie was great. The ending, just the final fight scene was bad.
How do you feel about bringing back these old characters? I think it's great for the new generation to see what these all are
I think
about.
You tread lightly. And I think you have to have good ideas, because a lot of times we've tried to bring back old things and it doesn't work out. Not just Wolfman.
The makeup was amazing, but
I was gonna say Spartacus, but no, Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur.
Yeah, I was like, when you try to bring back old things, just thinking, I was like, oh, we'll add some CGI to it, and people will just like gravitate to it. People don't remember this property, but I mean, obviously, like, you know, the Wolfman, Dracula. So I mean, because they're Halloween icons, so you can't. Kids growing up, they didn't grow up with these movies, but they know that these are Halloween icons and witches and stuff like that. So as long as you do those movies and you do it in a way that it doesn't have to be so tied to the original history and lore, but just reference it and stuff like that, then kids nowadays will go ahead and be like, yeah, okay, I'm into it, looks nice, it's fun, it's pretty. But when you go back to stuff, which is funny because Archie or Riverdale is doing really well on TV, and I just gave crap to Ben-Hur. But some of these properties, like, you can't do Rocket Man anymore. You can't do Dick Tracy anymore because nobody knows who those characters are. You can't do Inspector Gadget. You can't do this stuff like that because nobody knows those characters. Smurfs died a silent death in the theaters because nobody grew up watching. I mean, we grew up watching the Smurfs, but kids nowadays, they didn't grow up watching the Smurfs, didn't give a crap, and sorry, but the last live action movie ruined it.
And well, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, the fans were asking for a full animated, not the live action. Then they get it.
And then they get it. They didn't care.
They didn't care about it
because nobody watches the Smurfs, or the Smurfs not even on TV anymore. So, like I said, just tread lightly on the characters and the properties that you bring back, and make sure it's something that's still relevant today. But the Universal monsters are still relevant. Invisible Man, they could do a nice, cool take on it, and it would still make, as a horror movie, would be
Halloween
great.
2018.
Because what they're unfortunately what they're doing with these Universal films, they're making them all action films. And it's like the Mummy. To be honest, I was like, is this a Scorpion King like 2017? Because that's what it seemed like it was going. You know, except without
The Rock and Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser, except without Brendan Fraser, is that I felt like that's what they were going. But I mean, it seems cool so far. But I'll see it and I'll see what's going on. But stop! Don't make them all action films. I want to see Invisible Man as a horror film. I want to see anything else that they do. I get a little.
Well, I think you're right, but at the same time, what makes them relevant and them actually being okay with bringing these out is because horror has more longevity, I think, than other genres.
Yeah, of course.
You know, because everybody, regardless, especially when you're young, you know that
remember that, and
that adrenaline and all that.
It becomes
Yeah.
part of your rituals and stuff like that. It's
Right.
like, hey, let's watch this because it was cool back. I still watch Phantasm for a reason.
Never seen it. From beginning to end, I've never seen.
Actually, I watched it with Kaya. It was boring. And that was it's on my top 5. And I was so scared of this movie as a kid. I watched it again. What the hell was wrong with me?
Well, that's how I felt about The Exorcist, and we talked about it before. It's like from beginning to the middle, it sucks. I'm like,
it took damn near an hour to get to the damn mausoleum. And I was like, oh my god.
Oh man, that's funny. Well, Tom Cruise is no stranger to this genre, doing a freaking immaculate vampire in Interview with a Vampire. Absolutely amazing. Him and Brad Pitt were freaking great in that movie. So he's no stranger to this type of genre. With Mission Impossible.
Okay.
And you have Edge of Tomorrow 2 coming out pretty soon. He's done Oblivion.
Will Tom Cruise be tired? Yes.
Well, that man is a freaking machine. But I'm talking about as far as, you know, this is a completely different. You know, he hasn't done horror in a while. He's no stranger to it. But he hasn't done interview
What did he do as horror? Oh,
Interview with the Vampire. He hasn't done that.
Barely.
Exactly. So, you know, how do you think that's going to do for him as far as career-wise?
It'll be money in his pocket. People are gonna, once again, Tom Cruise, superstar. People are
needs an Oscar.
People are gonna go. Yeah, people are gonna go out except for Jack Reacher.
No,
people are gonna go out.
Jack Reacher round 2. Never go back.
Go out and see Tom Cruise movies. I mean, it doesn't matter except Jack Reacher. It doesn't really matter what he's in. This movie's gonna do really well, at least the first week.
But Jack Reacher made money.
At least the first week. Right. This movie's going to do really well, and hopefully the reviews do well, and this movie will turn into another big Tom Cruise franchise.
If you had to pick a movie of his that he should have gotten an Oscar for, which one would it have been?
It should be Born on the 4th of July.
Born on the 4th of July?
Yeah. That's the one. Or if you want to do the... I can't think of the title of it. That's why I'm so bad on the show. Where he was a lawyer. The
Firm?
No.
The Few Good Men?
A Few Good Men. That's the other one. He should have got an Oscar for.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. Alrighty then. Well, that's freaking. I cannot wait.
Tom, I love you.
Tom, I love you. I cannot wait for. I can't wait for this Universal. It's gonna be freaking awesome. Now, when this is all said and done, and we have these going on, give me back the freaking horror icon universe, cinematic universe. Give me Freddy, give me Jason, give me Michael Myers, Leatherface, Pinhead, Chucky. I want them together, dude. I want them to be in a shared freaking Expendables.
We already got that.
In what?
Freddy vs. Jason.
One? And
you saw what they did.
Yeah, and it's the best versus movie besides Civil War that I've seen in forever. All right.
Better than BVS.
Better than BVS. I'll take Freddy vs. Jason over BVS any freaking day.
I had to explain that to my kids what freaking Freddy vs. Jason was, and they were confused.
Then they saw BVS like, okay, I'll learn it because I don't want to see BVS anymore. All right. Go ahead. Anyway, so hopefully that freaking horror icon universe comes out pretty soon. So Tom Cruise in the freaking coming out is still going strong. Actually filming MI6 right now, and with recent successes of Rogue Nation, and even though you hate to admit it, Jack Reach Around, Never Go Back. He's still freaking on top, man. That dude is freaking amazing. One day, hopefully, he actually picks something that gives him that Oscar.
He did, and they didn't give him an Oscar.
Yeah,
he picked two.
Well, now it's time for our top 5. And we're back! All flash!
No substance.
So today's top 5 is the top 5 Tom Cruise movies / performances.
Right.
The guy's on a freaking roll still after all these years. I mean, this was like a long time since Taps and fucking Outsiders. All right? So
he was so young.
Soda Pop, wasn't it? Oh, was that Emilio Estevez?
He was a fresh face.
The fresh faced kid. Hey, go first.
I'm glad I'm going first because I expect our list to be so similar. Because there's universally known. Well, first of all, Tom Cruise has a lot of great films, but the top 5 films are like what everybody loves. So I hope it's different, but it probably would be the same. So, and I just dropped my list.
All right. Edit
that out.
Edit that out. Number 5.
I'm going with. God, this is such a hard thing. I'm gonna go to Interview with the Vampire.
Interview with the Vampire. That's good.
I'm gonna go to Interview with the Vampire. I gave so much hate when the trailer came out for this film, and I was like, oh wow, homoerotic vampires. That's exactly what I wanted to see.
It's a new day and age.
But it is a new day and age. And you know, when I saw it, made me question myself because I love this movie. I love this movie so much. It actually that was one of the movies where I truly became a Tom Cruise fan. There were films of his that I love, which we'll get to, that he did before that, but I truly became a Tom Cruise fan at that particular point. Also became a Brad Pitt fan at the same time.
Was it because he kind of like got away from the norm? He did something
He was a villain in the movie, and I was like, I really liked him as a villain, and he was a villain that you could actually kind of you feel for. Because you understood how he was and why he was that way, because he became a vampire and then his master just left him, and it was like, well, yeah, he's got to figure shit out for himself, and then he became that person, and it was like, so you kind of felt for him. All he wanted was somebody to hang out with when Louis and Brad Pitt kicked him to the curb. Screw you, Brad Pitt.
So were you disappointed when Stuart Townsend took over the role in Queen of the Dead?
Yes, I was so mad about that. I don't know they had to cast him younger because it was supposed to be younger, but you know what? Hey, vampires are eternal. And it was like they could have cast the same old, but he wouldn't have done it. He would
de-age him.
Yeah,
they didn't have it.
They did, but it wasn't that good. So that was my number 5. Number 4, which is I'm surprised that I like this movie and I put it at number 4 because it probably should have been my number 5, but it's my number 4 because it sparked so much going forward. Okay. Minority Report. I like that movie.
Our original name.
Yes, exactly.
Our original name of the show.
We didn't go with because it was going to be used somebody else, and then they didn't use it, and now it's just out there in ether that we didn't.
Oh well. Screw you.
Yeah, but like the technology in it was so great. The idea behind it was awesome. Hey, let's stop crying before it happened. And so much so that movies made now all copy the Minority Report touchscreen in the middle era. Avengers, you stole it.
Yeah, but you got Tom Cruise and freaking Spielberg together.
Yeah, exactly. That was a
match made
great
right
movie,
there.
and it was like all the technology that was in it. Tom Cruise did a great job, and he believed me as a short police officer.
He believed you?
I believed him as a short police.
He believed in you, Terrence.
Exactly.
Number 3.
Number three is, and this was tough to put this at number 3 because I wanted this to be higher than this, but Edge of Tomorrow.
Never seen it.
Or Edge of Tomorrow, or what is it? Live,
die, or live or let die.
Live, die, repeat. Or
Repeat. Live, die. Live, die.
Out of the
Repeat.
3 titles that this movie has had, from the book to the movie to the rebranding when they put it out on video. I love them all. And this movie was awesome. And
People keep saying that. I've never seen this movie. I'm gonna have to go see it. I'm gonna have to see
this movie is amazing. It's like, first and foremost, we get everybody that you want in this film. You get
Emily Blunt.
You get Emily Blunt. You get from Aliens, who just passed away.
Bill Paxton.
By the way, Bill Paxton's role, awesome. You can just watch him do that same performance over and over again. Amazing.
I'm gonna have to go watch it.
You have to watch this movie. It's really great. It has from start to finish. It's you see a transition in his character from the beginning to where he has in the end, and you love every different change.
I thought it was Halo.
It could have been Halo. As a matter of fact, whenever it gets to making a Halo movie, just call it Edge of Tomorrow 2. Number 2. Number 2 is gonna be A Few Good Men.
Great choice.
You can't handle the truth. I mean, that is still going on, and eventually one day they're gonna remake it, and it's not gonna be the same.
No, do not touch that movie.
Or they're gonna do a sequel, and he's gonna bring in a lawyer out of retirement. He has his own law firm. He's a general in the military or something.
And Jack wants revenge.
Oh God, that's Jack Reacher. Reach around. But no, A Few Good Men. It was one of the movies I said that he should have got an Oscar for.
Absolutely.
He did a great job in it, and everybody talks about his performance in the last final scene between him and Jack Nicholson. So
just the going back and forth thing. I'll keep my mouth shut.
All right, so number one. Top Gun, come on, man.
Never seen it.
You are crazy, sir. Top Gun is the best Tom Cruise film ever. I mean, so much, and I talked about homoerotic films. Top Gun and that volleyball scene. And you know what? You didn't care. It was great. The
His school is upside down right now, by the way.
The dog fighting scenes were amazing. Even though it turned out it was an action film and a love story at the same time, and the soundtrack and Kenny Loggins, man, Kenny Loggins.
and for my boy Goose.
Exactly, Goose. Iceman, come on.
Iceman, that's right.
That's right. You didn't see it, but it doesn't matter.
No, but I love Val Kilmer.
Watch that movie. Watch Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh man, I got some Tom Cruise catching up to do.
Yeah, you do.
But in the meantime, I got my number 5. I got some Tom Cruise to do. Number 5 for me is The Color of Money.
I was okay with that film. I didn't think it was top 5.
But he was, he was great and annoying at the same time.
Okay.
And he played, and that was him playing pool for real.
Yeah,
and he could rock the stick, man. He was freaking awesome.
This was the quasi sequel to?
It was a sequel to The Hustler.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And him and freaking Newman, and for him to be so young and to work with Paul Newman, who's playing iconic Fast Eddie Felson, is just freaking, that's awesome, man. That's awesome for him to do it so at such a young age. But Scorsese directed him great. The pool scenes were freaking awesome.
Oh, it was good.
But damn it, he was so freaking annoying. And cut your hair. All right, number 4 was
80s, sir.
Number 4 was also Interview with a Vampire, and basically it was honestly because he went a completely different route from anything I've ever seen him before. He played it. Yeah, you're right. There was a sympathetic villain. Would you call him an anti-hero? I don't know.
No, he was a villain.
but he was he just played it with so much. It was almost like a crazed innocence, because he talked so eloquently and was just ruthless at the same time. So I loved him in that movie. Number 3 was Jerry Maguire. He was freaking awesome as Jerry Maguire.
There was a TV show that HBO used to do called it was about a sports agent. I think it was called
Sports Night.
No. I think
not Sports Night.
Art or something. Not art. I forget.
Real
what it was.
Sports. Brian Gilbert.
But the sports the sports agent, his name was Art. I forget what the stupid name was. I'll put it in the thing.
Oh gosh, Arlo,
something like that.
Oh shit. The one with Robert Wool.
Exactly.
Arliss.
There you go. It was
Arliss.
And that's what I thought I was getting with Jerry Maguire. So when I saw Jerry Maguire, I was so disappointed. Because you were like, it was almost, because the way Robert Wool plays it is similar to That's what I wanted.
It's the way how it's borderline.
Why did they not make an R-less movie?
It's borderline what Piven does with friggin' Entourage.
Exactly, but it was before that.
Right, but you know, Maguire finds this freaking change of heart, and basically you want the freaking you want the
I want
sugar. You want Jay Moore's character.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
But it was still a great movie.
If the movie had been all around Jay Moore, I'd have been fine.
Jay Moore and Jerry Maguire. I don't care. Jay Moore was awesome in that movie too, but I freaking like Tom Cruise in that movie. And Jay Moore's line, dude, I am the fucking Terminator.
Exactly.
The best ever. All right, number 2. I don't care what anybody says. Tropic Thunder, number 2.
It should not be number 2.
Les Grossman. God dang it! If that wasn't the funniest shit I have seen in so long. Ben Stiller directed that movie. He directed Tom Cruise friggin' beautifully.
That's not
and
number 2.
I don't give a damn what anybody says.
Punch him in the face.
To me, he stole that movie. Him and freaking Robert Downey Jr. were the best things in that movie. But god dang it, man, Tom Cruise is so funny. Completely, I've never heard Tom Cruise cuss so much like he did in that movie.
When we do top 5 Robert Downey films, then Tropic Thunder will make my top 5.
That movie was freaking funny to me. I don't care. And my number 1 is Few Good Men all day.
Yeah.
That is my absolute favorite Tom Cruise movie of all time. I thought the way he handled that courtroom scene, I mean, you believe he was a lawyer. Now, Few Good Men is actually based on a play. And, you know, to see that, it's very rare that you get like something from the stage transition to film and where it works. Which one?
I said Medea.
Medea, exactly. Where it works, you know. There was like a few that were Raisin in the Sun comes to mind.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
12 Angry Men. So it's very few. Few Good Men was definitely one of them. Rob Reiner directed this in 1992. Jack actually got nominated for an Oscar for this movie. He was excellent in this movie. The one that got lost, I thought, in a way, was Demi Moore. I thought that she
was such a small part of that movie.
Yeah, I thought she could have gone up a little bit more, but
They give her own film. It's called G.I. Jane.
oh, that's right. There you go. She shaved her head. All right. But Tom Cruise was just friggin' perfection, and him and Jack at the end, back and forth, was just priceless. It was friggin' amazing.
Most iconic scene that you could.
Yeah, and I just wish he would have. You're right. I wish he would have at least got nominated for the damn Oscar.
It's crazy. Memes still going about that.
Honorable mention, sir.
Honorable mentions. I included your Tropic Thunder.
That's right.
I also included Cocktail.
Good movie.
Because I mean, it was a great movie. It was a fun movie.
And Elizabeth Shue's side boob.
Yeah, goodness. And you would believe that Tom Cruise, if he didn't make it as an actor, he would have been
awesome bartender or pool player.
Other one that I had was Collateral. With Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
that was a good movie. That's another one he probably could have won an Oscar, or he could at least got nominated for.
Yeah, that was actually
that was another one he was a villain.
That was actually the year that Jamie was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Collateral and Best Actor for Ray. Crazy.
Born on the 4th of July, another movie he could have won an Oscar for.
So he was nominated for that one.
And Eyes Wide Shut.
Kinky ass movie.
Man, that is basically softcore porn. It is basically softcore porn.
Is it like Color of Night? Is it like Color of Night with Bruce Willis?
I've actually never seen Color.
Alrighty then.
Well, that won't be on my top 5 Bruce Willis films.
All right, my honorable mentions was Rain Man.
Okay.
Great Charlie Babbitt, man. He was freaking awesome in that role. I loved him in that movie.
I liked it. It's just, it was okay. I think it got caught too much on the whole.
Well, just because of you want to talk about Edge of Tomorrow, where you see his character transition and change. You know, where you see one similar to Al Pacino in Godfather, but you know you see that change throughout the movie. Same thing happens in Rain Man.
I guess, yeah, because he's all about himself.
Yeah,
and then you know,
yeah, he gets with Dustin Hoffman, and now you know, and that road trip, you know, she brings them together and all that stuff. So you know that was a really good. He did really good on that. Collateral was also mine. Cocktail, Ghost Protocol. I didn't like Mission Impossible until I saw Ghost Protocol.
The only good Mission Impossible was Mission Impossible 3.
I've never seen it.
Are you aware that there's a character or an actor called Tom Cruise?
Yes.
Are you aware that he does movies? Are you aware that he's in this franchise called Mission Impossible?
I did not like the first Mission
6
Impossible.
movies.
I didn't like him. I did not like the first Mission Impossible.
I like the first Mission Impossible.
So I
the only bad Mission Impossible was the Mission Impossible 2. But the best one is Mission Impossible 3. It is not Ghost Protocol, as most people will tell you.
I like Ghost Protocol. The stunts on that movie were good. The freaking part with when he's on the plane on the side, it's got some really good stunts in there, and he does all the shit by himself, climbing the freaking top of the shit on the freaking skyscraper.
It was
the
three when they
awesome.
first brought Bing Rhames to the franchise.
Bing Rhames.
Ben Rhames.
Do I look like Tom's bitch? All right. Born on the 4th of July had that one. Now here's one that you would never expect, and that was Rock of Ages.
Why? Because he sang?
Because he sang? No, because he freaking took that role and just freaking ran with it. He did so good in his singing, and they show this actually in deleted, I believe in behind the scenes videos footage. I mean,
like we threw a real live concert.
Yes, he did a real live concert, and the crew were like really into it because he sold
Were they throwing bras at him?
He sold it. He sold it that good, and that's why I really, really liked him in freaking Rock of Ages. He actually, he impressed the hell out of me.
Ain't no Rock of Ages 2 coming, by the way.
Tell us your freaking top 5 favorite. Tell us your top 5 Tom Cruise movies.
Please tell me you've seen Top Gun and Edge of Tomorrow.
And I will do my homework and go see Top Gun and Edge of Tomorrow and Days of Thunder.
Oh my God! And I forgot Days of Thunder.
We're
Cole Trickle.
Cole Trickle. But in the beach
Ricky
scene,
Bobby before Ricky Bobby.
Hey, but in the beach scene, the actor actually calls him Tom. And then the balloon hits him in the head.
I'd have done that too. Cole.
Terrence, take us home.
All right. Welcome back, Manny, to Top 5. Make sure you guys, like you said, put your top 5 list below. Please add the 2 that he has not seen because it will show him that he actually needs to go watch those movies. But also, too, we want to see how you guys order your list. There's a bunch of honorable mentions that we have for Tom Cruise, so we know that the spectrum of top 5 lists is going to be all over the board. And I want to see exactly what you guys come up with. I know Chris is one of our good watchers and stuff like that, and he has some great ones. He always remembers the stuff that we forget. Outside of that, make sure you like and subscribe so that way you know of it, all the other top 5 lists that we do, as well as all the other shows that we have on the Goods channel. We're going to be coming out with some t-shirts pretty soon, so we can't wait to debut those on the actual show and have you guys send us some money. That's all I got.
Aspen's not with us today. She's got homework. She has homework to do, young lady. So she was not. She will not be with us. Very proud of her. There was a 800-pound film festival that happened yesterday for the Northeast School of Arts. And there were 800-pound gorilla. I just got that. Anyway, there were many independent films that were made by the students, and there were like a lot. You could just see the talent in these kids. So shout out to the NISA students out there for putting on a great festival yesterday. I should say Tuesday, and this is actually Wednesday. Thank you for putting on a great show on a Tuesday. Last Tuesday, you guys did an amazing on Tuesday. Y'all did an amazing job. Keep it up. For Aspen at home doing her homework, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And that was a good.
Have you not? Wait. By the way, hold up. This is the only thing they got right. Have you not watched the Transformers episode? They never hit anything in the Transformers.
I understand why in the cartoons you couldn't, because I mean it was 1980s and you couldn't kill anybody on. Okay, that makes perfect sense.
This is a man who sat through all the Star Wars films where the stormtroopers missed people left and right, where they could run down a hallway avoiding laser blasts because none of the stormtroopers could shoot right.